Thanks for doing this, buddy. I appreciate it. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, of course.
Excited to have you on, man.
I mean, yeah,
what episode is this?
So this is episode 18 of season 1. This is going to actually be the last episode of season 1. So we've decided we're going to do seasons, and we're going to do 18 episodes a season. And you are sort of, I'm going to keep this in, but you're sort of the white whale. Like we've talked about, like Hemstad has sort of loomed amongst this podcast as we're talking about comedians who play golf and all that kind of stuff. So it's quite an honor to have you on. So thanks for coming on.
Well, I can't believe I'm your finishing hole, boys.
Well, look.
Season 1, what a treat.
This is like Animal Chin 2.
What's Animal Chin 1?
No skaters, I guess, on the no skaters in the podcast. The Legend of Animal Chin.
I'm sorry, what's this podcast about?
we're multi-talented. Sometimes I talk about tap dancing for like a half hour, Dave.
Oh, sure. Okay, great. Call me back.
What's been going on with you, Dave, this summer? Are you filming episodes of the show? Is it still going on?
No, thank you for asking. Off the Hozzle, the pandemic giveth and taketh.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Great to get it on, but it's been a difficult time to fill a golf travel show for the last couple of years.
I can imagine.
So we've backbenched it. CBS Sports was nice enough to hold a time slot for us, but we just couldn't make it.
It's still waiting, just dead air.
It's the exact opposite of what it's normally like to be a Canadian entertainer. You know, you got shows and you can't get them on air. Is the opposite. I had a time slot, no show. It's the worst. So
yeah, you can't plan for that as a Canadian entertainer.
No, you have a time slot and no show.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought that could happen? And I would turn to people. I go, no, I have 8:30 on Mondays on CBS. I just need, but alas. So I've been golfing though. I still golf.
Will it come back? Will it?
I don't see how.
Got you.
I don't see how right now.
But you're golfing. How's the game right now?
Solid this week. Frustrating most of the summer. You know, still missing it left a little bit, despite years and years and years of work on not missing it left ever again.
Yeah.
I can still. So I don't know if I'm getting lazy. I don't know if it's a little flat. I don't know if it's the grip. I don't know what it is, but just takes one shot a day for me to go unbelievable. And now here we go. Basket case time.
And are you still a scratch? Are you below a scratch at this stage?
Technically, a couple better than scratch.
Couple better than scratch. How long?
+2.
And how long has that been the case?
Well, it's been a few years now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been a scratch for since I was I guess 21 or 22.
Jesus.
So I've been a scratch, or I'm 48 now, so I've been a scratch for 25 years. And
Whew.
The good years I'm better than scratch, but still holding on. I got to +3 last year. That was solid.
Wow.
Is that the best you've been?
Yeah, I might have had a cup of coffee at +4 for half an hour, but I don't think so. I think I got to like +3.2. And then if I played the right tees on the right course, that might have made me a +4. But
Just not practicing hard enough? Is that the problem?
yeah. Oh, at that point, it's lack of talent. I just don't know.
We hit peak oil and peak talent for Hemstad somehow.
Yeah, it's at that point I need to know more about how to golf than I do. Like,
but saying that, like as good as that is, you have trouble diagnosing what happens if you're hitting it left.
Normally I'm real solid on it. This year, for whatever reason, it's been a bit of a last couple of years. I could play my little butter fade all day. Didn't even have to think, step up, rip it as hard as I wanted. I knew it would fall 5 yards right. And it was just a wonderful time. And this year, for whatever reason, that's not the case. Still getting the toe shot, still rolling it over, still missing it left. Yeah. But, today was better than yesterday. That's the golfer's dream, right? You just keep hacking. You don't own it, you rent it.
That's it.
So, my putting's improved, my bunker game's improved. By missing it in a way I haven't been for the last couple of years, I got to work on a lot of other areas of my game that are dusty. When you don't have
I can imagine.
For 2 weeks, your bunker game goes to hell.
Yeah, what an embarrassment of riches. I'm like, I haven't been in a bunker in years. I'm like, yeah. That's crazy.
Get bad at bunkers. Now, what are you guys playing off of?
Go ahead,
I
Daryl.
think we talked about this the other night. I'm anywhere from an 80 to a 90. That's usually in that range.
Mm-hmm.
I've managed to I golfed an 89 this year, and then
Is that your first time breaking 90?
Greatest day of his life.
oh, it's pretty big. No, I've done it. I did it maybe in the early 2000s, and then a couple of times, maybe 3 or 4 times in like breaking 90. But yeah, like 88 or 89. Then I had.
Did you know where you were at? Were you nervous down the stretch, or did you find out later?
No, you know what? I knew I was doing well. Like I was like, this has got to be on track, and I was doing pretty well. I knew it was close. I thought I had more cushion than one.
Okay. What did you make on 18?
Oh, good question. I think a bogey.
Okay.
So, which is pretty for that golfing, pretty solid.
Not knowing that you had that little 3-footer or whatever to break.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, because it was probably a 3-footer, and I think I buried it.
Okay. I was kind of hoping you're going to say a 14. I had a 14 on the 18th hole for an 89.
Yeah, they were going to give me the course championship, and then they took it away. Everyone left the green.
You got Monty has these fantasies where there's big galleries following him. It's
well, I figure if you have a good enough, if you start a good enough 9, that's when the gallery starts to build.
Yeah, that's when the cameras show up out of nowhere. And all it's like, oh, I guess I'm in contention. I didn't realize. Suddenly there's a 14-year-old boy with a leaderboard with your name on it. Look out. I am in the hunt now, boys.
That would not throw me off. I'm like, I knew I was golfing well.
Yeah, he's got a +13 written on his phone.
Who would have thought 90 was the course record here?
Yeah,
Didn't see that coming.
12 channels jumping in with the 89 watch.
I knew I was hot.
This could happen. Only 14 over with 3 to go.
He's in contention.
Yeah, if he can bogey in.
Yeah, Trump. Some sort of trouble with Trump as far as an indictment. They took his things, and then they cut into that for an 89 over 4 seasons. They're like, you know what, this guy's got.
Fox News just showed up.
Oh yeah, they woke
the Donald Trump indictment.
Jim Nance had to show up in the robe with the coffee. He's on the
hello, friends.
Monty Scott, now 3 feet from glory.
Only his own glory, actually. Nobody else. Fox News and him seem to care. So here we are. Nailed the 3.
How about you, Nick?
I'm a 5.7. I've got it kind of low the last couple of years. Always had the talent, never had the mental game, and then the last couple of years just really worked on the mental game and got it pretty low.
Did you read some Dr. Bob? What happened?
I sure did. I read about 3 or 4 Dr. Bob, and that set me straight. And I got them on audiobooks, and I listen to them all the time, especially when I'm going to the course or getting ready for a tournament or something like that. So it really helped me.
And you haven't lent them to Daryl yet?
I haven't. I should though, because he's got absolutely all the talent too, and should be just as low. But Daryl gets a little fucked
all up here. All up here.
How's Dr. Bob with people somewhat limited talents, but also mentally ill?
He's encouraging.
That's all I need, Dave.
Yeah, very positive. Very you can too. It's a lot of that, but go see a professional.
Yeah.
There's some technical elements you need to play the game.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. So you said tournaments, Nick? You're playing in tournaments now?
Oh, I played in like a men's championship, like our club championship at the course. Spring Lakes.
Sure.
And then just kind of beer league kind of, I guess, for lack of a better term, little tournaments where you play Ryder Cup kind of things. And I played in one last year and got to the singles matches. I was a 0 against another 0 and had a fucking full-on panic attack on the first tee. So that's where the mental part really comes in. So but it's been great, like because as I said, growing up, I always thought I was this good, but I never scored well because I just didn't have any mental game whatsoever. But I had all the ability, and then just really you putting some time in to really rethink how to think my way around a course and how to just get out of my own way and just think of every shot in front of me, and it's worked out. So it's fun.
Not a guy. Well, congrats, bud. That's good playing.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Who would you? We've had some other good Canadian comedian golfers on here. Paul Meyerhog's a good golfer, and anyone else that I'm missing, Daryl? You think of?
That are good golfers? Well,
Yeah.
they're going to be upset when they listen to this. They're all
Well,
good
sure.
in our mind.
Yeah, of course. But Dave, you're clearly the best comedian golfer. That's a pretty easy enough statement to make, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, my track record would speak for it. Not to say
Sure.
anybody couldn't beat me on a good given day.
Yeah, of course.
Dave
Right.
Dave Mary used to give me a game, but I got the better of him lately.
Yeah.
But to be fair, he's older than I am, so that helps. He just lost
Right.
distance, but he's still a very good golfer. Jerry D could play back in the day. I don't know.
Oh,
if he
really?
still plays anymore or not. Timmy Steves was working at it. I heard Meyerhog was good. I never got to play with him. Schroeder, I know, is a little scoundrel around the greens.
Yeah.
A little bump and run 7-iron wizard out there.
Yeah.
According to him, in the hometown he grew up in, you could either go to the mini golf or you could stand around and spit. It's his exact words.
Yeah, you could putt or spit.
Yeah.
So that's why he's good around the greens.
So yeah, okay. So he's also great at spitting. I don't know.
Yeah. The
He
what
spit
ifs.
in '89 once.
The what ifs on a spitting career.
No, he's a scratch spitter, man. He's really get him in the parking lot, give him a sunflower seed. He can break a windshield.
But it's quite possible, Dave, you're the best golfer period we've had on. I would say probably second would be, we had former NHL player Dan Quinn on several, maybe 6 or 7 episodes ago.
Not the comedian Dan Quinn.
No,
Not yet, no.
He also recently shot something in the 70s. So
really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of guys have worked on their game during the pandemic.
I guess so.
It helps to have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How competitive are you on the course? Like, are you looking for competition all the time, or are you good just playing with your buddies and just competing with yourself?
Well, that's the great thing about golf, right? I mean, I'm always playing the course and myself. Right. So yeah. I'm playing par. That's my competition, is can I break par? How much can I break par by? Or how many over am I going to be? So I can play with anybody and have my own game.
Yeah.
It's great to play with guys that can push me and challenge me and force me to dig deep and hit some shots so I don't lose, like when suddenly 200 is not good enough and there's 3 holes to go and you've got to come up with some shots. That's really, really fun. But, like I used to play we used to have a birthday scramble with guys, Kyle Radke, Steve Dillon, Timmy Steves.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd play a 3-man scramble against me. We would play it at Don Valley, and you had to shoot. I beat them with a 65 one year. They beat me with a 66 one year. So
great.
There's lots of ways to invent games to make it competitive. Obviously off of +2, I'm giving strokes to everybody I ever play with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a member at Summit. I give guys, 2 handicaps, 3-4 shots. You got a game.
Yeah.
You got a game on your hands because these guys can play. So
yeah.
But same in all sports. I hate losing more than I like winning. Like I don't like losing. It just doesn't feel right. It feels unnatural. So, I'm more used to winning than losing. Put it that way. But
it's crazy.
When you get into competitive golf, actual competitive golf, boy, you better get used to losing. I mean,
yeah.
I lost far more tournaments than I won in my life.
It's crazy to think when I was at my best, when I was 17, I was a 4 handicap, and you would have to give me 7 strokes when I was at my best. That's insane. That's
yeah. Well, you might have won. You would have won some matches. I would have been chirping you pretty good every shot you took too. What are you getting out of the candy store here, Daryl? What do you spend your piece of candy on? Is it gonna be your tee shot, your iron shot? Are you gonna save it for a putt? How are you gonna make bogey for me, bud?
Yeah, I would have lost my mind.
I would expect nothing less from you, Dave. We've not done many shows together, but we did one show together, and it was primarily divorced women in the crowd. You were headlining, and I was fairly new to comedy, and I went up and did a bunch of material that was not suitable for divorced women, and fucking ate shit, and bombed so hard. And I got off stage. I'll never forget how big the smile was on your face. You were so excited to watch me bomb in front of 40-year-old women. And then you proceeded to go up and just absolutely smash, being like, oh, I'm a good father. I go to the park with my daughter. I'm this, I'm that. And they just fell in love with you. And it was a memorable night for me.
Well, horses for courses, Nick. We could have walked across the hall to another room and it would have been my turn to eat it. So.
Yeah, true. I guess so.
But hopefully you got deeper pockets now. You can switch gears.
Sure. You mean not do comedy?
Maybe mix up the material and don't do it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
look around the room before you do your big boner bit.
Now, before we get into our questions, I do want to kind of go back. Is it sort of an apocryphal story? This, like you getting struck by lightning on a course, and that changed like your course of like going into a life of golf and then veering into a life of comedy, or is that sort of is it truer than that?
No. I mean, that's the short version of it. Yeah.
Tell the long version. What happened? Where were you?
Yeah, for the first time. Okay.
Yeah. I saw Dave the other night, and he was like, I told someone about him getting hit by lightning. He's like, oh, great, this fucking story again. So let's, for the last time ever,
right.
Let's get it on video, and then you never have to tell it again.
That's right. Yeah, it's I'll tell you the medium length version because the long version could take hours. But the shorter long version, I was on a golf scholarship at Missouri State. I had just won a Division I tournament. So I had come home and won the Toronto Star Amateur. So now we're playing in the Ontario Amateur in St. Catharines, and I'm obviously a favorite.
Yeah.
Having come off the Toronto and won a college, and the first round I double bogeyed the 11th hole, my second hole. We started on the back nine, so bad break, plugged in a bunker. Made a couple pars to recover. Had to, went birdie then to get it back to even. So now I'm charging. Pumped to drive on a par 5. Horn goes for weather. There's a huge tree. Guys are standing on the tree. I go, we got at least a half hour. Let's just walk in. As they're walking away from the tree, bang! Loudest noise you ever heard, biblical. And this was nuts. The tree split in half, sizzle in the air. Everything's standing up. I'm like, whoa, that was close. The boys, look at that. Tree got split by lightning. That's crazy how close that was. And so we go in and everyone's talking about, do you see the lightning? I see it. We were right on the tree. Are you crazy? It was just like, look at this. So it's still. So I went back out to play after the break, and I had like a short putt, like an 8-footer, and I hit it, and I'm like, that's in. And I look up, and it went about 20 feet. And I went, oh, that's odd. That's not me, And so playing the rest of the round, I'm like, geez, I'm really I'm struggling here. I don't know what's going on. And so, frustrating day, nerves, whatever. Woke up the next day and in the bathroom here getting ready for the round. My lips were all purple and blue, like I'd been drinking a bunch of red wine, as if I didn't drink red wine at the time. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Well, I asked to sort of look at my ears all burnt. I go, what the hell's this now? So I'm like, what the? And then I holy shit. I'll tell you what happened. The lightning went up and out. So and through the and
Jesus
so
Christ.
Your nervous system, works on electrical impulses, right? So I got 1.21 gigawatts that I didn't need. And so I could not control my hands. Like I ended up putting that day, like by holding it like 4 inches above the head. Like I mean, the ultimate, like I just went so far down the shaft because I couldn't stop it from. So I went back to school and I was a mess, on scholarship and everything. And I'm not playing well. And emotionally, I'm a mess. And I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, but I can't golf anymore. Like this is, the universe jumped in here and said, wrong place. So what am I supposed to do? And so I was talking to some professors. I'm talking to the athletic director. I'm talking to everybody because I'm like, I'm going to quit. I'm done. And they're like, you can't quit. We're paying for everything. You're on the dean's list. You're on the honor roll. You're academic All-American, for Christ's sakes. You can't quit. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't golf anymore. This sucks. And so I went to talk to one professor and she wasn't there. And I'm knocking on the door. And there's a bulletin board and its sign said student stand-up comedy contest. And I said, geez, I always wanted to do stand-up, I'm standing there knocking on the door. And I'm like, what would you do? I was like, first thing you have to do is find out how long a set is. I know that because I knew Dave Harry, who was a friend, who was a comic. And so I'm standing there knocking on the door waiting for her. She's not answering. I'm reading this. And then it just all fell into place. I was like, wait a minute. I'm here looking for a sign. of what to do, and this is literally a fucking sign. So I'm like, you idiot, it's right. This is what you're looking for. Here you go. So I decided the contest within 3 weeks. I decided right then and there I would drop out and do the contest. Like I would do the contest, drop out the next day. I couldn't drop out yet because I had to stay eligible for the contest. So I did the contest and I won it. And
Jesus Christ.
I won a Sega Dreamcast. That's what year we are here, boys.
Wow.
The Sega Dreamcast, and which was actually a great prize. So I gave it to my roommate who wanted it instead of rent. And so that gave me $200 US. So I'm driving back to Canada now with $200 US I wouldn't have had, which was a fortune back then. And I was like, wow, all I did was talk for like 10 minutes. And like $200 US. I'm like, maybe you can make a living doing this. And
Wow.
So here we are all these years later. I'm a comedian instead of a golfer. So
Incredible.
That's the shorter version.
It's wild.
I think the craziest part of that story is when you started to tell it, the whole room behind you lit up. It was almost like that power was still there.
That's right. I got a little fader I keep for when I tell the story. You should hear the thunder stick when I'm telling the long version.
I'm so sick of this fucking story. Hold on, let me get my fader.
Craziest part of that story is he gave up the Dreamcast.
Well, I mean,
It's a hell of
he
a
started
system.
comedy and gave up the Dreamcast. Clearly, he had brain damage from the lightning.
Couldn't sell it for $200 now.
No. That's a fact.
That was good money back then.
Why? That's about $800 right now, I think.
For a Dreamcast? Oh yeah.
No, well, with inflation on the 200.
Yeah, well, if they were giving away a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox now, I'd probably still go do that contest.
Yeah.
When you went back to golf after this, like, so you come back to Canada, you start doing stand-up and all that, do you start just playing recreationally? And is your relationship different with golf at this stage when you come back?
Yeah, good question. Well, no, so Dave Mary was, I don't know how well you guys know Dave Mary, but he was doing these Beat the Pro par 3 contest. He'd stand on a par 3 all day, do a close to the pin contest, and then do a comedy show for him after. So I said, hey, Dave, I got the golf game. I just need to learn some jokes. Can I learn jokes and do that gig like you do? So naive, right? But he's like, yeah, sure, kid. Good luck to you. And I'm like, well, I don't want to step on your toes. He's like, trust me, you'll never take a gig from me in your life. Get whatever you can. So, as you know, there's very little money in comedy when you're starting out.
Right.
So, but I had left university to do this. Everyone thought I was nuts. So I didn't have the luxury of waiting very long to make money. So there was a guy at the golf course I'm at Summit. I've been there for a long time, and I was the club champion at the time. Although, by the way, quick footnote to this story. I've won my club championship 14 times. I've only played it 18 times. Three times I came second. One time I came 8th.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, guess what year that was? That was the year I got hit by lightning. So if you're looking for any empirical evidence or any actual proof that lightning did anything, I got 14 wins, 3 seconds, and an 8th in the 18 years I played in the thing. Yeah. What happened that year? Was the competition better? No, no, it was shit.
I was full of lightning.
Essentially, I was out of control.
That's a hell of a shot to the guy who came in 9th. I'm like, you had to be hit by lightning for you to just barely lose to him.
Yeah, the funny part is if like it was the other way around and say I got hit by lightning and then finished 8th of my club's championship, I'm like, it's a superpower now. It's just
yeah. Imagine if you won one of 18 years and it was the year you got hit by lightning. Now that was a special summer. That's it's like those damn Yankees or something.
If I even shocked myself with a toaster that day when I got 89, I'd probably be selling them a ShamWow kind of moves.
You want to try that one again?
You guys,
Gonna land that one.
You lost me. Oh no, I'm pretty sure I could have made a living off that 89 if I got shocked by a toaster.
Monty's line. I love that. Everybody else stay where you are. We'll just go right back to you, Monty. Go ahead. We'll do the ShamWow wine and then we'll jump back into it.
We'll fix it and edit.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Everybody hold. Okay. Check the. Okay. We got it. We got it. It's
You
fine.
should have had Dave a lot sooner. He's really making us a better podcast. I
Yeah,
feel
no
like
shit.
he's a hell of a producer.
We'll clean it up in post, boys. It's fine. Go get some lunch.
Clean it up in post.
So I go to Dave Mary and I see he's got this gig doing that. And so
Yeah.
there's a guy at my golf club who brings me out as a ringer to his scramble event, his corporate scramble. So we're driving around and I get to one of his holes. His name was Richard Stone, and he ran a company called Stone Funds. So we get to a hole and there's a sign that says Stone Funds. And he's like, "This is my hole." And I go, "This is your hole. You pay for this hole?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "What's this hole cost you?" He goes, $750, but I get a foursome, in the thing. And I went, "You paid $750 for that sign?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Why don't you give me $750? I'll wear your logo on a golf shirt. I'll carry your golf bag, and I'll do a Beat the Pro contest out here, and then I'll do a comedy show at dinner. You can give it to the event, and
Yeah.
I'll take the $750. I'm better than a sign. I got to be better than a sign." So he said, "That's a great idea," and he signed me up for 20 tournaments.
Wow.
Wow.
So now I got to write 20 minutes of corporate comedy that I didn't have. I had no, my Missouri parking jokes weren't going to play that well. The stuff I tore down the contest with wasn't going to rip it at the corporate event. So probably like you at that divorce gig if I tried that stuff. Anyway, so it was literally sink or swim. I had to write 20 minutes of material. And then I started doing these Beat the Pro things in the summer. And then I went to Yucks and tried to get on amateur night, and they weren't interested. So I had to ride out the winter doing jobs until the next summer when I could do another 20 corporate events. So I probably did 40 to 50, definitely over 50 corporate events before I did my first middle.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Yeah. How backwards is that?
That's wild.
Isn't that nuts? So I had 20 to 30 minutes clean before I ever got a middle spot at Yuck Yucks.
Jesus, man. That's wild.
Yeah.
And even then I had to invent a character to get into Yucks. So maybe old enough to remember I played a character named Billy Bob Joe Taylor for 5 years.
I
You
am
remember
old enough
this?
to remember that. Yeah. I never saw the character though. I only heard about it. I wasn't Yuck Yucks.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. So yeah, no, I played a cowboy from Missouri. I needed a hook because obviously they weren't interested. So hook or by crook, boys, I kept my foot in comedy because otherwise I had to admit that I'd screwed up life because you don't leave a full ride when you're on the teens list in the honor. Go tell jokes. So I had to keep proving that I knew what I was doing. So I had to figure out how to make money real quick along the way.
That's wild. And like golf wise, would you take the winters completely off golf? Would you maintain your swing? Would you go to a simulator or anything like that? Or
I'd go to the sim more now. Last couple of years, I would take it off completely, for the last sort of decade. I sort of fell out of golf for a while. I mean, obviously there was a point in my life where I caught myself saying it, but I would say, "No, I can't. I have to go golfing." And driving there one day, I was like, "Geez, I really am not enjoying this. Like, why am I still like? I'm here to work. I'm not enjoying it, And it was Timmy Steves who one day really got the passion going. I sort of didn't care about golf anymore. I didn't even know why I was still playing. I was, middling. At this point, I'm still playing to scratch, but it's more out of responsibility than anything else.
sure.
And, so then Timmy, we went out. We started hitting balls in the winter, and he was really impressed because he was just getting into the game. And so we started having a swing. And then we went out, and he was fist pumping 8-footers for double bogeys. He was just, "Come on!" He'd make these shots, shoot his 96, and be like, "Yeah, man, yeah." I'm laughing at him. I'm like, what do you do? You're embarrassing yourself. But then I'd hit shots and he'd be like, "Unreal!" Like he became such a fan too of mine that it would make me giggle because he just loved it so much that I started to get back into it and be like, "You know what? I guess I should appreciate this more. I should enjoy it more."
Yeah.
And so then I sort of started to love the game again. And then the last few years, obviously with the pandemic, I had to pivot. So I started, coaching. I'm not a golf pro, of course, but I've been a golf sensei to a few people I know.
Nice.
Help them on the path of just like, if you want to, I can't teach you, but I can help you learn.
Yeah.
So I can shave your learning curve, guide you keep you on the path, so to speak. And in doing that, I got really good again. Like last couple of years, like I was saying, I got back from scratch to +3, and then made some great friendships again and got to play in some fun tournaments. And I don't know, I don't know what replaces golf in life. There is no thing
Yeah.
that replaces all the elements of golf. The battle with yourself.
Yep.
First of all, there's no sport I can compete at with other people where you don't have to be 6'8" or be 280 pounds or super strong. This is the one that I don't care if you're 5'4", you can rip it by a guy who's 6'4".
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing. And a 50-year-old can kick the crap out of a 25-year-old. I know, because I do. I beat college kids. I can't beat college kids in any other sport but golf. So mentally you can keep growing. But then there's the battle within you. There's your own fears, your own bravado. Who are you today? What are you going to take on? Are you going to try to go to that pin that's over the bunker? Are you finally going to learn to just relax off the tee and breathe and do your exercise? Are you going to keep repeating the same mistakes? Or, now that you're, say, 2 away from your best round, can you breathe and get it into the clubhouse? Or are you going to panic? Are you going to make a triple bogey on 2 and just be a sulk the rest of the day?
Right.
Pouty baby because you didn't get to, all of it. Not to mention the fact that you're out in a park drinking with friends sometimes, and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Go-karting and drinking and laughing all at once. Sometimes you go for a hit and giggle, and sometimes you go to test yourself. But
Sure.
A golf tournament is like a relationship, man. All your weaknesses are going to be exposed. I don't care what you're hiding from yourself or from your loved ones. If you're afraid of bunkers, you're going to end up in a bunker. If you're afraid of your 4-iron, you're going to have to hit it at some point. Over the course of a tournament, you're going to have to deal with that part of you didn't want to deal with. And that's true of comedy too. And so the parallels, I'd say everything I learned about how to be successful as a golfer helped me be successful as a comedian. Every bit of it. Every single facet of how you be ready to play when you step on the tee is the same for how you have to be ready when you step on the stage.
Yeah. That's great.
That's a well said, man.
Have you ever considered becoming a professional? Like, it seems like, summers are golf and comedy in the winter. It seems perfect.
Well, to borrow a phrase, those guys are good. Those guys are really, really good. But if you mean like a teaching professional, no, I don't have the patience for that. I don't really care enough. You gotta really work to earn my tutelage, and you've got to be passionate. You got to want to put the work in. I'm not just going to teach 14 strangers an hour a day to make money. I don't care enough about that. I'd blow my head apart. You're doing the exact same thing as last week. You didn't practice. It's because you didn't practice all week. That's why. How many times can I say the same thing? No, just okay. If you want to give me money to tell you the exact same thing this week, I'm not. I can't help you anymore. I can't help you. Just go away and practice.
Dave, I don't think I could pay you enough money to teach me how to not fist pump an 8-footer. I don't care if it's for 10.
Never lose that. That's what I'm saying. Because I lost it and had to find it again. And never lose that, but you can internalize it a little bit.
That's great.
I like a little stare down. I like it just a little look over, a little tip of the hat, Giving them a cue is always good. You know about the cue? So the cue is what you do on tour. That's the old pinch and release. So you don't say thank you. That's too much work, right? So you make the 8-footer and you just go cue. It looks like thank you, but you don't have time for thank you. You just cue.
Oh, wow, that's abbreviated. That's
I'll give the guys a cue when I make a putt. I'll give a cue.
See, you're already a teaching professional. That's that.
Exactly.
You've already learned something.
It stings
so much.
It stings more than the fist pump. I'll tell you. We can just give a guy a little cue.
All right. I think it's time. Monty, do you want to do the honors?
I believe this is part 5.
Yeah. Neither a question nor a statement, just somewhere in between.
No.
That was excellent. Dave, we sent you the questions ahead of time. Not sure if you read them. Question number 1, your favorite golf course of all time, and there's a 1B.
Okay, yeah. So my favorite golf course has a Catalyst, of course. My favorite golf course is Summit, where I've grown up, been a member forever. That's my favorite golf course. I've grown up there. My whole life is spent there. I still love playing it. I go there all the time. That's my favorite golf course. My favorite golf course, not where I'm a member. Just played it a couple weeks ago, which is Old Head in Ireland,
Oh, geez.
which is unbelievable. I'll send you some videos. It's hard to believe how good this place is. You're on a peninsula where every hole has a view of the water. It's 14. You're just
Wow.
around. There's a lighthouse. It's 500-foot drops, like to your death. People die there. They don't talk about it. But people die there annually. As my friend Mike Zecchino's dad, Mike Zecchino, said, you couldn't even have this course in Canada because you'd have fences and railings and everything everywhere. But they're just like, oh, yeah, don't. Like I hit shots where my sphincter flexed because I stepped out of it because I was so afraid of falling to my death. I can show you. I'll send you the video.
Here, we'll take a look at some.
Oh, there you go. There's Old Head on the right. So that's the peninsula there with the lighthouse. See the big one?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Dave actually has a video of himself. You birdied a hole, right? Into the wind. You showed it to me on Thursday night.
This one, yeah, the par 5 12th. So along the top of the island, I don't know if I'm pointing as if people can see me point. But if you look at the top, just under 12 o'clock there, you see there's a sort of narrow spot right there. Yeah.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. So to your left, if you go or my left, yeah, down there, that's a par 5. So there's the green there. And then if you go down towards 10 o'clock, right on your left, so there's the tee there. So you hit it up over back to where you just were. Is your
Holy
tee shot,
shit.
and then your next shot is down along there to that narrow green up there.
Wow.
There's the green.
That's wild.
It's nuts. And then obviously down on the right side of your screen, you can see 2 and 3 and 4. So that's the 4th hole there towards the lighthouse, par 4 downhill. The tee is just above where you have the cursor now. So, but you just play around this thing. So the wind is always in a different direction. And, you can't miss it left on the front 9. You can't miss it right on the back 9.
Jesus.
Oh, whoa, that's sick.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It really is like nowhere I've ever been.
You know what's also weird is that this is in Cork in Ireland, and we had an Irish comedian from Cork on this podcast, and he never mentioned this course.
Well, what was his handicap?
He was like I think he was like an 8 or a 9.
8 or 9, yeah.
Not brought up Old Head. It's like
I have no idea.
He lives in Belfast now, and he really likes the courses around there.
Okay. So did he mention any? I mean, I've been lucky enough to play the North and the South Ireland. The South is stunning. Tralee is a fantastic golf course.
Yeah, he mentioned that. Yeah.
Some great.
I remember. It was a while ago.
I'm lucky, I played Royal County Down. It's fantastic. Kapalua was incredible in Hawaii. If you want to play a great golf course, I mean I'd put that up there as well as a really, really great golf course with views. Did you switch from wine to water, Jesus?
Yeah, sure did.
Reverse Jesus.
Reverse Jesus.
The water there.
I gotta edit this later. So yeah.
Oh well, great job jumping in with the tech there and showing the Old Head page.
Someone's got to produce this, buddy.
Nailed it.
Well, that kind of takes care of the part B of that question, which is besides Augusta, Pebble, or St. Andrews, what course who do you most want to play?
Oh, Cape Kidnapper. Well, I've played them. I've played a lot of them.
Yeah,
I've Bay Hill, Sawgrass, and a lot of the Capitol, a lot of the good ones on TV. Pinehurst and Royal County Down, #1, of course, in the world. I've been up to Royal Dornoch in Scotland and Turnberry and some of those. So, but there's Cape Kidnappers down in New Zealand. I don't know if you know
really
about that.
Heard of it.
Yeah, oh yeah, check that one out if you're able to do it with your fancy Google tech.
You sound so old, and you're 3 years older than me.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's just impressive, Yeah. So there you go. So look at this place. Plus, you could go to, right, and that look like something you'd.
Oh wow!
Jesus Christ!
Is that a painting?
It's like playing the fingers there. That's wild.
Right. So, having not been in New Zealand or Australia, I'd like to go down and play there and play Royal Melbourne and experience what golf's like down there.
Wow.
I'd probably have to pack a couple extra golf balls.
Yeah. Bring the whole dozen.
Yeah, bring them all.
It's windy. Just in case it's windy.
I bring the whole dozen now, Dave.
Here's the ball I used for 8 rounds in Ireland, and it's a little tired, but it was.
What do you mean 8 rounds?
I'm kidding.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. I was about to end the podcast right there.
Yeah.
You can see it's got a little nub on it. It's not so even there. I knocked it out around.
You beat it to death.
Oh, here's an old, this is an old SMS. How do I get the letter right? There's an old, this is one of my old Missouri balls. And
Wow.
this thing's not even round. Look at the nub on that.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
These are the old Bellata balls we used to
Oh,
use.
yeah.
And you'd open up a box and there's only like 7 round ones.
All right. Question number 2. You can put together your ideal foursome. No PGA, LPGA, or live players and anyone alive or dead who is rounding out your foursome.
Yeah, too hard a question. There's too many people to pick on that. My mom died when I was a kid. I know she played a little golf, so I'd have to put her in the foursome. Bobby Jones, technically not a PGA Tour golfer.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm going to use that loophole, and I'm going to go back to old Tom Morris.
Oh.
I'm going to figure out what the hell he was thinking when he started the game, or how he figured out, or what golf was like back then. So I'm going to go, I'm going that way with it.
That's incredible. That's a great answer. That's one of the most thoughtful, quick answers we've had.
Cheers. Well, he said no PGA players or whatever, so that throws out all the golfers, and I'm not going to play golf with friggin' Elvis.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I don't think George Carlin was a golfer either. Like, I'm not going with comics, so you got to go. Who would you want to golf with? Who never actually was a golfer? I had to go pre-PGA to find the loophole. But I think old Tom Morris would be fascinating. You know, back got a perch of balls and those old hickory, and then Bobby Jones too. What he was going through at such a young age, and then I don't know. I never got to know my mom as an adult, so you got to throw her in if we're making, I believe, right?
Beautiful answer.
Isn't it nice that the 2 best golfers we've had have both picked family members?
Yeah, and like in an emotional way, not just like, I'll play with my brother, whatever, but like sort of with a bit of, longing in a way, which is nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, yeah,
can't even make fun of that.
Everybody loves longing.
It's the thesis of this podcast.
Watch the clicks go up now, eh, Nick?
Yeah.
Have we discussed longing at all?
I don't know.
Anymore.
It's clicks. Is that still a term? Do people click? Click on the link below.
I'm super curious to hear your answer to question number 3. Do you drink on the golf course?
Why? How do you think I got to be a +3?
So no.
First of all, there's no drinking. It's called swing oil, my friend.
Okay, great. So let me ask the question proper. On a hot summer day, what are you ordering from the bar cart?
Well, let's talk temperature. Because I've lived in Wichita and I've lived in Springfield, Missouri. I've golfed down in Texas, and then I've been down in the Caribbean in the summer too. So if we're talking a regular day, I'm getting a neutral. I'm getting or a sandbag. I'm getting off the beers. I'm getting something with a glass of ice. If we're talking real hot, I'm going vodka Gatorade. Nice. I'm trying to hydrate as I drink as well. So,
you know what? This is perfect that you're the final guest on this season, because the first guest of the season, Joey Elias, his drink of choice is he puts vodka in Gatorade the night before and puts it in the freezer, and then has a slushie, and we dubbed that the Joey. So we've we've come full circle. Look at that.
There you go. Yeah. With Kyle, obviously I keep a flask of birdie juice in the bag. You always got to do that. And that can rotate from, normally it's Jameson. That's my go-to birdie juice. And if I make a birdie, you drink too, by the way. So we've had some fun days where guys are asking me not to make putts. Because they got to drive home. They don't want another shot. And I'm hitting one in there. And they're like, "Don't, Dave, don't. Oh, do you want me to miss this? Do you want me to miss this?" But
how big's the flask?
Never big enough. I've emptied it.
I can imagine.
I've never heard anyone tapping people out in golf. That's wild.
I was lucky enough to play with Rocco Mediate once, and we talked about golfing, and he said a line that I remembered. He said, "Drinking helped me play better golf right up until it didn't."
That's very deep.
So I've had some of my best rounds with a few in me. And there's a reason for that though too. It's not I say swing all, but mostly for me, you know, my level of ADHD, which I assume comics can relate to. Too many voices, the radio's too loud.
Yep.
When I get a couple drinks in me, I turn the radio down, and now I start seeing shots, and I don't start thinking about all the trouble and all. I just go, I could probably hit that shot.
Yeah, right.
Try that
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, yeah.
And then I hit, and then I'm like, I can make this putt, dude. I don't miss nothing. So there's a bravado that can come with a few drinks in, where you just start to feel a little more confident about yourself. Also, at my, you know, the aches and the pains and the joints aren't creaking as much. You start to feel a little younger. So suddenly the body's turning a little easier. We'll pop a little pop in the bat today. I ain't hit an 8 iron back there. You know? So yeah, I drink on the golf course, unless of course I'm not allowed to because it's a tournament or I drove or something.
Sure. Okay.
And,
Nice.
And by the way, I don't remember many of those rounds.
How did you end up playing with Rocco Mediate?
I got a gig doing comedy at the Coppenwood member guest. And I did a good set, so they invited me back the next year. And I said, well, I want to play in it this year because I want to know what the guys go through. Everybody's pretty sauced. So they paired me up with a guy named Norm Kalinuk, who was a great golfer there, but he was a guy who sponsored a big chunk of their men's night the night before. So he said, okay, good, you're playing me. We're playing with Alex Lifeson and Rocco Mediate.
What?
Jesus. Oh my God.
So I was like, okay.
That's pretty good that you just stood right, like walked right over Alex Lifeson. Didn't even mention him in this original story.
Well, we'll circle back to him. So I play because it's a great story. So we play with Rocco, and I'm all over Rocco. Like I'm just picking his. I'm in his ear. You know, I'm like, Rocco, how do you do? You know, but I'm also trying to beat him.
Right. Of course.
Jackass, you know. And so you know, I hit a shot. I remember the one hole I hit a shot, pretty nice little wedge shot into like 10 feet, and he looked over. He's like, I don't like you. You know, a little bit. And I hit another good shot, and he's like, I don't like you at all. And then like 4 holes later, I think it was like the 11th hole or something, he comes up to me, he goes, I figured it out. I'm like, what's that? He goes, you're a comic. You don't work during the day. So we come around. I've been talking to Rocco the whole time, and I haven't talked to Alex. So I get around to Alex, and I'm like, "Hey, Alex, you don't remember? We played 9 holes when I was a kid, which we did. We got paired up randomly, played 9 holes, and so I said, yeah. I said, I'm a comedian. He goes, yeah, I saw you last year and liked it. And I said, great. I said, what? I said, just out of curiosity, what's your favorite size crowd to play? What do you like to play? Still so. I mean, you know, you can do your best sometimes, but you're such an idiot. Like, you know, I've played Massey Hall. So you. I'm like, what's your favorite size room play? He's like, oh, that's a great question. He goes, I guess like 80 to 85,000. I'm sorry. What's the biggest crowd you've played? And he's like, oh, 500,000. You know, but that was for SARS. He goes, we played 350,000 in Brazil once, but that's too many people. You can't even constantly just look out and you never see the end of them. It's just people farther than you can actually see. Oh, yeah, okay, you're up. Cool. Yeah, 80, 85. Yeah, cool. Anyway, so but after the round, I did comedy again. We got chatting, and we set up another game of golf, and we became very good friends. And during the pandemic, we would FaceTime and Zoom, and
wow.
So, we're actually playing Goodwood tomorrow. That's where I got the Goodwood hat. And
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. I'm lucky to call him a dear friend now. And if you're watching now, sorry for telling this story where I embarrassed myself, but it's one of my favorite stories. What? I assume he subscribes. How many subscribers? Does he know about Monty's riffs?
So
yeah, we
ShamWow. Let me text him the ShamWow bit. How'd it go?
Yo, look, Dave, people that do 85,000 seat stadiums love that bit. They love it. Hammers.
And Zoom podcasts.
Yes.
No, if you don't know, he is just a generous and wonderful guy, and I'm very lucky to be friends with him. He's such a kind person. So we started these man camps where we would during the pandemic, 4 of us, Yasha Baroness, Steve Alexander, and Alex Lifeson and I would go up to Alex's place. We'd play some golf and get away from our families for a few days. So if you were talking about my living foursome, they're my favorite foursome, is the boys of Man Camp with our generous host Alex.
That's great.
That's the addendum to the who I would play golf with is my
Love it.
Yeah. And I guest, just to finally qualify and humble brag, I'm his guest next week at Coppenwood for the member guest. So it's
amazing.
Circle. Rocco hasn't come up since the pandemic, so I've slid into Rocco's slot. So, Rocco, if you're watching, now you can really not like me. But
Also, if Rocco or Alex or either one of you are watching, season 2 starts soon. Would love to have both of you. So we get 80,000 on a bad episode.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't we have 350,000 a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I think Mike Mitchell got 350,000. Yeah,
Hell of a day.
It was.
I
it was
All
prefer
of them in
the
Brazil too.
I prefer the 80. It's just the way I am. I like the 80.
yeah,
I was kind of hoping you would have said
keep
I
it
played
intimate.
spirits once, and I really enjoyed that. That's
keep it intimate, Monty. I agree with you. 6 figures. Ugh.
Yeah.
Who am I even talking to at that point?
Yeah, it's just the masses. It's everybody then.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me in the back?
Nick played
question.
once for 80,000 divorced women. It was not what did.
Yeah,
not
it
well.
did not go
Not
well.
well.
I should have. No, Dave loved it though. Question number 4 feels rather trite to ask the angriest you've ever seen someone on the golf course to someone who's been struck by lightning on a golf course. But I imagine you've got some stories of seeing people lose their minds on a golf course.
Yeah, I would say about that. I'm hard pressed to find the angriest. I've seen some clubs snapped. I've seen some tomahawks. I've seen some serious mistakes. There's no one moment.
Yeah.
That comes to mind. I know I've been livid. I remember I got a bad ruling in an OGA event. Back then it was the OGA. Now it's the GAO. Same way the WWF is now the WWE. It used to be the Ontario Golf Association. Now it's the Golf Association of Ontario. And I hooked one left on some par 3, and I ended up in like some tractor tracks. Like, clearly this thing had come by, and I was in that. Problem was there was no real relief anywhere. But the guy came over and I said, "What would my relief be from this?" And he's like, "Well, you can't get relief from this." And I'm like, "This is clearly." A cart path of some kind, like a tractor is driven. And I go, "Of course I would get relief from this." And he's like, "Well, no, I don't see any relief from here." And I'm like, "Wait, well, of course there is." Then he goes, "Well, I'm not the one who hit it here."
Jesus.
And oh, wow, did I snap. It doesn't matter who the F hit it here, you mother.
You can swear, let it go.
No, and we know 80,000 people. There's probably some
Oh
kids.
yeah, that's true.
They're
What a
Brazilian
professional.
though. They can't speak.
Yeah.
They can't speak this language.
They listen for the rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell the story in Portuguese.
There you go. Fair deal. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if I've ever been madder than that guy, but it doesn't take long. Missed a 2-footer. I would rather bomb a joke than miss a 2-foot putt. Put it that way.
Really?
I would absolutely. Oh yeah, I'd rather bomb a whole set than miss a 2-foot putt in a tournament. There's nowhere to hide. There's no one you can blame it on. It is 100% your fault when you miss a 2-foot putt, and whether it's the lack of concentration, lack of physical ability, whether you just were stupid, it still counts on the scorecard. Especially if it's a par 5 where you like reach it in 2, hit some heroic 5-wood over water, and then lag one up to like 2, and then lip that thing out. You dumb you. Oh.
This might be the angriest we've seen someone get on the podcast.
I think so.
There's so many cataloged memories. It's in my little angry file of just, are you you moron. On the golf course, I'll call myself David. Only time I call myself
Yeah.
that comes
That's
out.
that's a recurring theme also.
That's the David. David, what are you doing? I caught myself with it once. I was like, who's David? I've had a whole talk up the fairway with myself. No, answer me. Who's David? Who the fuck is David? Is it Dave when he fucks up? That's who David is? Whose voice is this? Who's talking to me right now? Are you the reason I miss shots? Fuck off.
It's a perfect segue to the last question, because now you can go through your file cabinet of, of your favorite golf moments. But there's got to be, I mean, so many goddamn highlights for you. What stands out for you as your favorite golf moment?
Hang on, you skipped the back half of your question. Which
Oh,
is
okay. Well, how do you stop from losing it on the golf
to
course?
hold it together?
Yeah. Okay.
That has taken a long time to learn.
Has it?
That has been part of the journey for sure. Is how do you stop sabotaging your rounds by your emotional control? How do you get a hold of yourself? That's huge. That's how I've won 14 club championships. Lots of times,
Really?
guys that were better than me, I knew I just had to wear them down. They're going to make a mistake. They're going to unravel. I just got to stay the court, stay paid, just wait for them. It's how Jack Nicklaus won majors.
Right.
US Opens especially. It's just wait for them to fall apart. Just hang and do not lose it. 5 is better than 6. 6 is better than 7. You just try on every shot. Whatever that is, that's the, so many tournaments, I assumed I was doing poorly. And so I'd throw away a couple shots coming in, and then I'd find out if I hadn't thrown those shots away, I was right there.
Yeah.
If you're struggling, odds are somebody else is too, right? So a lot of it is don't blame this shot for the shot that got you here.
Yeah.
Not
right.
this shot's fault. You're being an asshole now. Like, you go, oh, I should have been over there. You can't play that game. You can't play the coulda, woulda, shouldas. You can't play any of that. You got to go, all right, this is what I got. Now, it doesn't mean I never get angry. It means I get angry and I wrap up my anger before I get to the next shot. Before I don't take a club out of the bag angry. I go, so I'll swear you stupid, still like this, you're still missing it left. Unbelievable. It's got to be, this is I count how many years of you stupid more son of a, okay, what do we got? 163? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what's the wind doing. Here we go. Try to make a good swing here. You have to reset. You have to have some trigger, something you do at your golf bag, or something you do that it clears the mechanism. If you ever saw For the Love of the Game, you got to have that. All right, that's all over now.
Yeah,
it's all over now. All right, and now it's this shot and move forward and add them up after.
But like 2 or 3 of those in a row doesn't you can still reset?
Well, now I'm looking for that beer cart. Now I'm scanning the horizon.
Where's that bar cart?
Yeah. Also, I've never seen anybody put their phone down and hit a good golf shot. Stay the fuck off your phone. Golf takes all your focus. You don't get the luxury of sending an email and then going, oh, what do we got? I'll just hit a shot too hard. You got to be staying in the game. Check your phone after 9 if you have that luxury.
Yeah.
Check the messages, deal with that, put it away again, get back, to teacher, whoever, your beloved, whoever's looking for you, just go, I'll only check every couple hours. I can't be on my phone every 8 minutes. Don't start a text conversation with your buddies.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
You don't care what you're going to shoot that day. In which case, have fun. Don't care. Try shots. Have a great time. You don't have to play your best every day. I can have a lot of fun shooting 76.
Sure.
I can pretty much tell when Nick's on the golf course because it takes him so long to respond to a text.
That's true, actually. That's the longest, because I'm like, my OCD is like, when I'm not on the golf course, I have to respond right away to anyone who texts me. That's like a bad part of me. But on the golf course, fuck that. It's away in my golf bag and I don't look at it. Nope.
Good. That's the right way to play. That's why you're a 5.6. And dropping is because of that. It's Dr. Bob would appreciate that. By the way, I called him once.
Really?
When I was going to school. Yeah, he wasn't as famous as he is now, but I called his back then you could go to the college directory and find people's names, and I spoke to his wife.
Jesus.
A lovely woman. I just said, I was just picking a school, thought I'd ask if well, no, he's out helping but he appreciate you calling.
Wow.
He's a sweetheart.
We're talking about Dr. Bob Rotello for anyone who can't put that together.
Everybody likes golf. Buy his books.
Buy his books. Golf is not a game of perfects. What's the putting one called? I can't remember. Anyway, they're fantastic. There's like 4 or 5 of them. They're amazing.
He wrote a murder mystery one too, didn't he? No, it's someone else. Never mind. That was up with the ShamWell joke.
Yeah, it was a musical. It's a musical.
All right, David. Thank you for rolling us back.
Some of the hole is equal to its pars or
something. Thank you for pulling us back and answering the second part of the par 4 question. But now par 5, your favorite golf moment, if you can.
Favorite golf moment. Okay, so obviously I got 3 hole-in-ones.
Jesus Christ!
So the first hole-in-one's pretty memorable. Winning the Division One golf tournament was outstanding.
I would say.
Very, very special. I have an albatross, a double eagle. It sank a 3-wood from 253 yards on a par 5.
Can you actually?
Oh,
Oh, this isn't it. Okay.
No, go ahead.
We get those 3 out of the way. No, go ahead. No, I want to hear.
All of that is to qualify the fact that I was in 2019. I had a chair set up on the left side of the 16th green at Augusta.
No way.
Yeah, when Tiger Woods, who we could see had just birdied 15 and now came to 16 with a 1-shot lead. And if you remember the shot,
Yeah.
he hit this iron up on the bank that started coming down. And we're all thinking it's going in. And we're all thinking it's going in. And all of us are just, oh. And we all couldn't believe it didn't go in. But then we also, all of us at the same time, realized it was right there, 2 feet for birdie. So we all went, and then marching up with all the people to head up to follow Tiger up 17 and 18 to watch him win the 20. I was there when he won it.
Jesus Christ.
That's the best golf moment.
My God, man.
You feel it. It's England now.
This is how much of a nerd I am. I think 2 Saturdays ago, I had nothing going on. I went on YouTube and found the 5-hour full CBS broadcast of that and watched it all for 5 hours.
I'm in it. I'm behind him on 6 when he hits the iron. I'm on the 18 when he's walking by.
Oh my God.
I'm on the corner at 13 when Molinari and I think it was Finau put it in the water.
Yeah.
Playing with him, we're on the bend, and there's no cell phones allowed there, so you don't know what's happening. You just have to wait for the boards, but you can hear the roars, and you can hear you go, "Ooh, that sounds like a roar. Oh, I think that's somebody." And then you hear an eagle. Can't we made eagle? You're hearing it all out. And then you're watching who's hitting first. Oh, he's hitting first. So it must have been them who's in the water. And you're very aware. People, a lot of murmuring amongst gallery members. Everyone knows there. Did you see who hit first on 12? Was it okay? So I'm thinking. And then the board comes and everybody goes, oh. Tiger did. See, I told you it had to be Tiger who was laughing. There's no experience like it. It's the greatest thing that ever happened.
Oh my God, man. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's a spectacular one. That's got to be the best. That was sick.
It's the best. It's the best. I don't know how you ever top that. The Saturday afternoon, I was lucky to go Saturday and Sunday, but sitting on Saturday beside 18 green, having a cigar, you're not supposed to take your shoes and socks off, but I did because no one could tell. So curling my toes into the grass left of 18, watching Mickelson, Tiger, all these guys play it, having a cigar. I'm inside the TV. This is Pleasantville. Like it's absolutely Pleasantville. It's so immaculate. I'm like, all these years of watching, I can't believe I'm inside the TV.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. If you ever get a chance by hook or by crook, do anything you can to get there, even if it's a practice round. Just go walk that property. It's the best.
Man, what a way to end it. This was incredible, Dave. Did not disappoint, man.
Oh,
thank you.
Packed full of amazing stories, including that one. That's sick.
I got more. Look forward to finishing the 36th hole.
We would love that. That'd be great.
Save me for the end of season 2 and I'll come
all
back.
Right.
Oh, hell yeah, buddy.
Yeah, man.
And if you'd ever like to play some golf with some schlubs, we'd like to.
We gotta get a game. You can't do the podcast without getting a golf game.
I mean,
I played with you years ago. You probably don't remember. Me and Tim Steves.
The Pete Anthony one he set up.
No, it was me, Tim Steves, you, and your actor friend Callum.
Yeah.
I think we played at St. Andrew. Is that a course around Toronto?
St. Andrews Valley up in Aurora, or were we over at Lakeview?
No, you know what? If I had the time, if I wasn't in the middle of a golf club podcast, I'd go on my phone. I have pictures of it on Instagram, but I can't remember. It was a nice course.
Back to ones. We just need a clean line read there.
We'll fix it.
In post. Like honestly, I can't remember, but I remember it was a nice enough course that Tim Steves was like, okay, if I pay half, can you afford the other half? I was like, the funny thing is Tim basically got me back into golf too. That's the funny thing about Tim. He was so gung-ho about golf back then that you're like, God,
that's awesome.
I gotta go play with this guy.
Yeah, Timmy's awesome, and I don't know how well you guys know he's fighting the heck out of cancer right now.
Yeah.
So, Timmy, if you've been watching, we all appreciate what you bring to our golf games, bud. So keep the fight going. Bud.
Yeah, I love you
Fuck
very
yeah,
much.
Tim.
Yeah, God bless, man.
Yeah,
And
you're part of all our golf lives,
hell
and
yeah.
comedy lives too. I bet we could do a podcast about comedy stories more than the golf stories.
Oh my God, yeah. And I mean, we can bring a Juno nominated comedian to our foursome if that means anything.
Who are you thinking?
Monty.
Yeah.
I like the way Monty looked around. Monty wasn't sure.
Yeah, is that off your ShamWow album? Or what?
It was mostly ShamWow oriented. Yeah, I was like, I sold a bunch of them, and they loved me.
Yeah.
Who has more Juno nominations, Monty or Alex Lifeson?
Funny.
Well, I tell you what, Juno nominated 89 this year.
What's that mean? 89 what?
Scored an 89.
Oh, yeah.
Aforementioned.
Just listen to your
Still
credits.
fist pumping.
Yeah.
Still fist pumping.
Still fist pumping it.
I didn't know they grade you when they was at the Juno. That's awesome. You got an 89 out of Juno?
Oh yeah. Self-proclaimed. They won't admit it.
No. Well, yeah. If you guys want to get a game, I'd love a game of golf. Are you kidding?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that would be incredible, man. We'd love that.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for doing this, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Congrats on a full season. Way to go. You finished 18. Are you
Thanks.
gonna
Didn't see that coming.
Are you gonna do a 19th hole bonus Christmas episode or
We've already got it planned out. Don't worry.
okay?
Yeah,
Drink a little birdie juice and
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah,
exactly
buddy.
it.
Swing oil. That's what we need.
swing oil. The musical.
Yeah.
Enjoy Massey Hall tonight.
Yeah, cheers. I should go turn the lights on. People,
They're coming in.
It's almost like Carol Burnett at the end of the old Carol Burnett show when she would have to mop up.
What am I going to do with all this ice?
Been on the whole time.
Thanks, Dave.
Cheers, guys.
Later, buddy.
Find that tree on the left side of the fairway, and something distracted him.